Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Monday. My Monday's been pretty average, nothing crazy, but I'm going out of town at the end of this week, and so I decided to have a video recorded before I go. But for today, we're doing something weird again. I'm really trying to push my boundaries, try new things. My cat won't get his head out of my hand. So today, from Founders, who, if you remember, I was very pleased with before, they have another beer we're going to try today, called the Mas Agave Classica. And it's a Goes style ale, which is actually a German kind of ale. So I think it's really interesting that it's got a Mexican name, but it's got prickly pear in it. So I guess that's where the name is coming from. But a Goes is a style of beer that's usually brewed with at least 50% malt, and it's usually sour, and it's usually salty. Like that was a very specific characteristic of a Goes style ale, is that it's salty. So I don't think I've ever had a salty beer before. I don't know if I'm gonna like a salty beer, but it's definitely new. It's definitely gonna be interesting. If my damn cat will get out of the way, I'm gonna grab my antler. See, the bottle's pretty cute. It's got like a little skeleton hand holding up a prickly pear. So I imagine this is still going to be sour, but like agave fruity. I haven't really had a lot of agave, so I don't really know what it tastes like. But this is also supposed to be a coriander forward beer, so maybe we'll get something similar to what you get in Belgian style ales, because those commonly have coriander in them. We got our bottle cap here. I'm upset I put a little scrape in it, but it's just a basic kind of brass color, maybe bronze. I don't really know the difference between brass and bronze, but it says Founders. I like Founders so far. So, I mean, if I don't really like this one, I can't really blame Founders, because it's more the style of beer that I don't like rather than the beer itself, I would assume. And to be honest with you, I don't have high expectations that I'll be liking this very much, but it's good to try new things. We got the Delirium glass. I just thought it was fitting for this color and this style of beer. I thought it would be nice to use this glass. Now, it's pretty red. I didn't pour very aggressively. It's hard to pour aggressively and talk at the same time, okay? But this is very red. This is more like what I was expecting the Delirium Red to be like. But this, the sun comes through this really nicely, and it's got that like Hawaiian Punch red on this side, even though it's darker on your side, but I'm sure it'll come through better later on. Now, that's weird. It smells like fruit juice. Like, I guess it's probably a prickly pear that I'm getting. I haven't really had a lot of prickly pear, but it almost smells like, I think it's amoxicillin, is like a pink antibiotic that you can get. And when I was a kid, I had ear infections a couple times, and I had to take amoxicillin as like a liquid instead of like as a pill. It was fucking gross. I'm getting vague amoxicillin, I hope it's amoxicillin, kind of smell that I'm getting from this, and I don't like it. But at the same time, it's fruity and it's sweet, at least in the smell, so hopefully it tastes better than it smells. Let's try it out. Extremely fruity. Maybe a little salty, I guess. It's hard to see like something fruit-based being salty. I'm like almost not even looking for it, because I just don't expect it to be there. But it's crisp. It's really, it's making my mouth water, honestly. It's pretty good. I guess I'm kind of getting, like after I lick my lips, after I drink it, it's a little salty. But I'm not getting salt so much in the flavor. It's just fruity. It just tastes like kind of sour fruit punch. But not like fruit punch. I'm saying fruit punch because it tastes like a mixture of fruit, not because it tastes like fruit punch specifically. I hope that makes sense. It is a little funky. You know, it's not perfect. Like it doesn't just taste like straight salty fruit juice. You know, you can kind of tell there's something there. But it's hard to put my finger on it. I guess it is a little similar to the Delirium Red. Those are really like that's the only other fruity beer I've ever had. So this is the only thing I can compare it to. And it's not the same by any means, but it has similar characteristics, I guess. I think I like it. This is definitely the wrong time of year to be drinking it. Like just this last week, I've noticed that the leaves are starting to change color, you know, and it's been windy and it's been cold. So, definitely not the right time of year to be drinking this. But if this was like 3 or 4 months ago, this would be hitting the spot. Absolutely. Very fruity. It's kind of girly. I don't mean that girls can't drink beer too. I'm just saying that's like a word that people use. Girly. Excuse me. You gonna smell? Oh, he doesn't want to smell. Yeah, something about the smell. It's almost like weird. Honestly, I was really not expecting to like this at all. I thought it was just going to be sour and gross, but it's got more to it than that. You know? It's more fruit than it is sour, and I think that's a good thing. But I've tried sours before. Like, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but the Sierra Nevada cherry sour, bad. Gross. This is sour, but like I said, it's not a sour. It is salty, though, I will say. You can almost get salt in the smell, too. It tastes way better than it smells. I gotta stop sniffing it, because every time I sniff it, I'm like, oh, why am I drinking this? And I take a sip, and I'm like, oh, it's cool. If you buy this, don't smell it. You won't want to drink it. Let's see what the bottle says. An oasis of flavor in the desert of normalcy. This cocktail-inspired imperial goes is brewed with agave and sea salt and aged in tequila barrels. Oh my god. I didn't know they put tequila in barrels. You think that's bullshit? I need to do my research. I'll put something up here as to whether tequila barrels are a real thing or not, because that doesn't really check out with me. But I totally get the sea salt, and I guess I kind of get the agave. And I'm assuming I'm getting a lot of prickly pear. Like I said, I don't know the prickly pear flavor that well, so I can't tell you if it's really there or not, but it is fruity. And tart. That's the word. It's not sour. It's not sour. It's tart. I should have thought a little better. You know? Should improve my vocabulary. My beer vocabulary. Yeah, maybe next year, next summer. I think there's a chance I might buy some of this, honestly. If they're still making it, if it's still there. I'm very pleased with Founders for this. I think Founders comes out of, like, Michigan. I'm pretty sure they brew in 2 places. Oh my god. I forgot to mention this earlier. I read online. These are typically like 4 or 5%. This one's like 9.7. This shit's not a fucking joke. Maybe it's, not really. Oh, it's considered a malt beverage. Which I guess makes sense, because it's not really a beer. Like, it did say goes as a style of beer, but it did say 50% malt, and it doesn't taste like a beer. I remember saying that about the delirium. Like, they need to find another word for it because it's not beer. It's a malt beverage. Delirium Red's a malt beverage. This is a malt beverage, I guess. It's like alcoholic punch. It's funny that it's 9.7 because I'm not really feeling it. But I'm sure it's going to sneak up on me. Yeah, this isn't my favorite thing in the world. But it's cool. It's got weird notes to it, so I don't think I'm going to be going out and buying this like every week during the summer if they're making it again next summer. But I'm going to try to pick it up at least once next year and give it another go when the weather calls for it. I'm like literally wearing pajamas right now. Like, it's not the right time of year to be drinking this shit. But it's cool. It's very refreshing. I had a pretty easy day at work today, so it's not as satisfying, I guess, if that makes sense. But it's good. It's good. I would give this like I want to say 6, but I feel like it's better. But I feel like everything I've rated has been a 5 or higher. So we're going to give it a 7. I'll say it's a 7. It could be better. It could be worse for sure. But it's above mediocre. I would have to have another goes to compare it to. But based on just like a regular general beer scale, 7 out of 10. It's cool. I think that's all I got for this one. If you enjoyed my video, please leave a like. If you have any ideas for any other beers you'd like to see me review, if you want to criticize my criticism, leave me a comment and let me know. I hope you have a great Monday afternoon and great rest of your week.